Most traders think the hardest part is making money. It's not. The hardest part is actually keeping it. You could be up $50,000, $100,000, $300,000 and still finish the trade with nothing. And that's what's been happening with some big traders, okay? So in today's video, I'm sitting down with David Hanlin, the laptop legend. He's now made over $13 million in trading profits, which is crazy. Even at this level, he's still making mistakes. Not small mistakes, like literally six-figure mistakes. We're talking about being up $100,000, $200,000, even $300,000 on a trade, and then giving it all back. That's what's called a round trip, as you'll see. And it's one of the most frustrating things in trading, especially when you're trading with size like he is. So in this interview, we're breaking down why this keeps happening in this choppy market, how FOMO and choppy conditions can even trap experienced traders, and what he's doing now to adapt and lock in his profits. Because this is the reality of trading at every level. It's not about perfection. It's about recognizing your mistakes and adjusting and optimizing. David even talks about how changing just one decision, locking in profits earlier, turned a frustrating stretch into a green day again. That's the difference, making small changes and seeing how they impact you. And if you want to start spotting better setups and avoiding these mistakes, I also put out a free weekly watch list every single week. You need to trade the right stocks, okay? So I'm gonna show you the exact stocks that I'm watching and why they matter. You can grab that in the description below. I highly encourage you to start that way. But for now, please watch this interview carefully because this is what trading looks like at a high level. And I think it's gonna blow your mind. Congratulate David. Thank him on being so transparent with his wins and losses and learn from him. Here comes David Hanlin, the laptop legend.
My God.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Yeah? You feeling good? Eduardo just talked about his $70,000 loss. Do you have any things that you need to get off your chest? Picture this, your confessional booth.
I mean, I've had some annoying round trips this month.
Let's talk about it. I want everyone to talk freely about their mistakes and their losses so the whole community can benefit. What does a round trip mean? What have you been doing? And, why has this been keeping you up at night?
A round trip is basically where, it kind of describes itself in the name, but you enter a position and then it goes in your favor and then you give all of those profits back and end up closing it out for break even or for a loss. And we've been in a market where a lot of stuff has been going straight up and, it's easy to get FOMO in that market. And so I was basically entering with really big size and I had some great entries on my positions and I didn't lock in profits when I was up because I thought it could continue based on the daily chart, but it's just been a very choppy environment too. And so, I round tripped six-figure gains like 4 times last week.
So just perspective, you recently crossed $10 million in overall profits. Everyone give him some emojis. He loves emojis too. Eduardo was getting the emojis. Give him some cute little emojis and makes David's, look at that cute, right? Look at everyone, they love it. $10 million, awesome milestone. Now when you're saying round tripping, so you're up like what, $100,000, $200,000 and you're not taking it because it doesn't move the needle?
Correct, yeah. Not all of them were huge. One of them was like 250, 300K, but the rest were like just over 100, maybe 100, 150K. And then to round trip that to 0 or a 50K loss is tough.
You never wanted to just like lock in half the profits because you wanted more, you wanted to give the chart time?
Yeah, I wanted to be patient with it and, if it went farther, because it wasn't even the end of day one, so it's tough to want to lock that stuff in.
But this is what we've been seeing. So, I love day ones and I myself have been chopped. I'm red a few $1,000s halfway through the month. It's very frustrating. I'm trying. I'm waking up early. I'm staying late. Like yesterday we opened our first school in Colombia. Awesome experience. Did you like that?
I loved it, man.
But we missed all the after hours runners. I'm at the school ceremony and I'm like, AQMS is at 16. And they're like, the principal wants to give you an award. I'm like, AQMS is 18. And then by the time we got back here, AQMS was like 26. So we missed that. And it's frustrating when you're round tripping. But literally even on day ones, they don't even last to day 2, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's happened to me on so many different names, man. It happened on Open, it happened on BBI, just a bunch of different names. So a lot of breakouts failing. I think the biggest thing is just making sure you're focusing on the right sector sector if you're trying to take stuff and be really patient for it, because I think a lot of the names that I was aiming for a bigger gain on was not in like a hot sector, and that's just the biggest thing right now. So like those rare earths, and we got the quantums, and we got all those. If you're in the right sector, even like energy stuff with USAR, Oklo, all of those. So if you're in the right sector, then maybe it's a better idea to hold, but otherwise, you know, I should just be taking singles. And I did that today, and that's why I'm green today. And you know, if I had, I would have round tripped that.
How much are you up today?
Like 54.8 thousand, yeah. So
54,000 today, and he's not very happy, but it's okay. Give him some more emojis, make him happy. The way that David is trading now, the way that he got to 10 million is by giving charts time. That's how you get bigger. I am frankly not at 10 million because I don't give charts time. I take my singles and I move on. And this is why it's so awesome that we have so many people in the community where you can learn from people who take profits, you know, too quickly, myself included. We have people who don't take profits and then they round trip and then they feel guilty. So like, what is it? Probably like another $500,000 in profits that you could have if you just like locked in?
Yeah. I mean, I'm up 176K on the month right now, but I'd be up like 700K if I just locked stuff in. So.
Do you ever now want to lock in? So like you learned from that. So then today, that's why you locked in sooner?
Yeah.
So you're adapting.
Yeah, and also it's just like, you know, knowing that I was shorting a hot sector, so it's even more likely to reclaim and round trip me on the short side. So just being really aware of the sectors that I'm in.
But it's also adapting. Like I love that where it's like, you know, many people, look, we have round trips, we have losses, we have mistakes. But if you learn from, let's say, a pattern where this has happened, how many round trips have you gone through, roughly? Like 6, 7? Big ones.
I mean, in the past week and a half, it's like 4 to 5, yeah.
But enough so that you recognize it.
I mean, way too many.
But specifically in the past week, because you tweeted about this, we're talking about this, like you recognize the pattern, like you're round tripping because you're trying to give it for day 2.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And then today you're like, I'm going to learn from this. I'm not going to wait for day 2.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so you locked in the $50,000. What are the stocks doing now? Would you be more in the right, or would you be round?
Red. No, I'd be red if I'd held. Yeah.
So you beat the market today. The market has been beating you, but then you recognize the pattern and you're like, ha, not today.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that feel good?
I mean, that aspect of it feels good. Yeah. I mean, I'm still hard on myself because I could have sized more.
But it should feel really good because this is what I want for all of you guys. We all find different patterns in our trading, and once you find that, you have to adapt.
I think it's just really important to learn from your mistakes. I was talking to, I don't know if Eduardo talked about this specific thing. His big loss actually came from not specifically knowing what route to use to get out if you're stuck in a halt. And that might be a thing that, you know, some of you guys aren't prepared for. Like if you're ever long a stock and it goes into a down halt and ends up gapping down, you guys might not know how to sell on resumption. And if it's like really weak, it could go straight into another down halt and not give you time to exit. And so what Eduardo was able to do this time was figure out, you know, exactly what routes he needs to use in the future to get out on resumption, because he could have gotten out at 60 instead of 100 if he had known that before. And so because he took the time to do that after this loss, like that loss is not for nothing because there's actually a valuable takeaway from it. So.
And he's already made back half of his losses.
That's epic.
Which is awesome. Yeah. So he gets the lesson plus the profits. And that's what successful traders do, guys. Like that's why I wanted to bring David here. That's why I wanted to bring Eduardo on, where it's not just all rainbows and gold pots. Like you have to learn from your mistakes. You get the rewards after you learn from your mistakes. But you need to make those mistakes, then you have to adapt. That's what David did today, even though he's still not happy because he's just hard on himself, right?
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. That's all I wanted. I wanted that lesson. Go back to work.